I'm most proud of is we've taken a very strong stand that the purpose of our schools is for education of our kids, not indoctrination of our kids. Parents' rights matter. The protection of our children matters. And we are going to make sure that we are standing with families in Florida. And part of the reason we do that is because when you're looking at issues like education, yes, you have to see them through the lens of the eyes of a governor, because it's important for the state, but I also see them through the eyes of a father, of a 6, a 5, and a 3, and my wife and I, we very much care about the world that these kids are growing up in. I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, I didn't feel like watching a cartoon somebody was trying to shove an agenda down my throat. I didn't remember it. Certainly in school, we just did school. There were no other agendas being pushed, and that's changing now. And I think parents are having a more difficult time just raising their kids the right way, because it seems like everywhere you turn, something is happening to try to veer them off course. And so we're very sensitive to that. And so because she's here with us, I want to bring up our First Lady. Great mother, great wife, and a great First Lady of Florida. Here she is.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. That's awesome. Well, it's great to be in Iowa. It's great to fight with the governor. And frankly, it's great to fight with a lot of mamas across the country, because mamas are really fired up, I have to say, and grandmamas. By the way, when the governor was reelected, we did a big initiative in the state of Florida. We did a Mamas for DeSantis. And we said, we are going to sign up 1 million moms to support the governor. And we didn't meet our goal of 1 million moms. We actually signed up 1.1 million moms to support and reelect the governor, which was great. By the way, we had a great contingencies of grandmoms, too, the villages. They were our huge stronghold. So it's not just the mamas, it's the grandmamas. But, you know, I heard a recurring theme. It was, you know, it's one thing when your policies come after me. It's another thing when you're coming after our children. That's when we start fighting back. And I think there are a lot of moms across the country and grandmoms who are going to sign up to support this governor, because he is the one that's fighting to protect our children. So I'm happy to be here for a lot of reasons, one of which I'm very happy to talk to somebody older than the age of 5. So this is date night for us tonight, by the way, because we have our kids are being watched. Thankfully, Grandma's always on hand to be able to help us with that, which is such a blessing. But we have, as he mentioned, we have the 3 little ones. So we have 6, 5, and 3. Mamie, first baby born to a sitting governor in more than 60 years. She's the little Spitfire. She runs the place. Don't anybody tell you that it's the governor who's running the operation. It's our 3-year-old. By the way, if you're wondering, and I mentioned this yesterday, if I'm sounding a little hoarse, it's because I had a very long, in-depth conversation with that 3-year-old as to why we cannot color on the dining room table with permanent marker. You know, it's funny, you see these pens that the governor will use to sign various bills. Well, those permanent markers then come back and they all accumulate near the dining room table. And so we have tried to encourage them not to use those, whatever. And, you know, we also are very fortunate. We live in a great place, the governor's residence, but it's a little bit like living in a museum, right? So it's like that MasterCard commercial plays in my head. You get a bill at the end of his tenure, right? This costs this much to destroy Florida's irreplaceable history. This costs this much. This is priceless, right? So, you know, trying to corral small children has been a challenge, but it's also been a blessing, and it's one of the reasons why we fight so hard, because we're fighting for their future, and we're fighting for your children and your grandchildren's future. You know, I'm very proud. He was up here talking about all of the great things that he's accomplished in the state of Florida, and your governor has done a heck of a job. You know, but, and Kim is a good friend. She's awesome. You know, but here is why it matters, because so often you see so many people who are running for elected office, especially in Washington. They say all of these wonderful things. They're going to go do this, they're going to go do that. And when they get up to places like Washington, D.C., they go rogue. They forget why they're there. They forget of the wishes of the people who put them in office, what they ultimately wanted them to do. They become listless vessels, bending in the wind, beholden to polls and politics, never delivering on those accomplishments on behalf of the people. What the governor shows is that when he says he is going to do something, check the record, he gets it done. What a concept. And he's also not afraid either. That's the other thing, because, you know, he has been attacked literally. Even before he was elected, he was being attacked. And during COVID, we turned on the TV, and every 5 minutes he was being attacked. And I honestly said, sometimes I worry if he's not being attacked, right? Like, are you doing the right things? But you know what? Even though he faced unrelenting attacks, he never backed down, he never cowered, he never changed, he never took the path of least resistance. You know, in watching in execution, that he fights and stands and defends what is right. So I'm excited for the journey ahead, and I'm honestly humbled and very honored to be a part of it. I mean, I'm having a lot of fun, I'm not gonna lie. Casey's is a great place. The breakfast pizza is literally good. I keep joking, I say, you know what? There must be something about the synergy, right, between the name Casey and Casey's being one of the best gas stations I've ever been to. You should ask him. He's a little bit of a gas station connoisseur. But we're having fun, and we're enjoying it, and we love the warm welcome, and we love just how nice everybody has been and so wonderful and appreciative of taking the time, because we know it's hard to take time away from your family. We did a FaceTime call, by the way, before we came out here with our 6-year-old and 5-year-old who were eating popsicles on the sofa, but that's okay. It was fine. It was all right. They had bowls, but you know, we understand that it's a sacrifice to be involved in politics and to make a difference. So honest to God, we do appreciate what you're doing, but I'm excited because we're going to protect and defend what it means to be an American, the idea of America. We're going to ensure that our children, and your grandchildren have the opportunity to live up to their God-given potential in America. And you know what? With this guy leading the helm, I can tell you we are going to show the world that America's best days are yet to come. So God bless you.